Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamivavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The invisible is that infinite. The visible too is the infinite. From the infinite, the visible universe of infinite extension has come out. Infinite remains the same, even though the infinite universe has come out of that infinite Brahman. Om, peace, peace, peace. So we are back to our study of the Isha Upanishad. We have read up to verse number 11 and 10. We will start today on the 11th verse. But we are in a very difficult area. Probably, I do not know whether you feel it difficult or not. The theory is little difficult. It says that on the 9th, 10th, 11th, these are little, 12, 13 are little tough. Why? Previously, we have heard on the verse number 8, where it is said that the Brahman is the self-existent. It is everywhere. It is without a body. It has no muscle or physical thing, without any sin, subtle body. It is radiant. It is pure. It sees everything. It knows everything. It is all-encompassing. And by his command, every duty has been given to all, even the Prajapatis, the rulers of the whole universe. So this is the thing we know. That is our description about Brahman. But now comes the question, in Vedic time, people used to do these religious ceremonies, Vedic rituals, and Vedic rituals always will take them to high heaven or heavenly pleasure, will bring all name, fame, power. And that was called the Avidya and Vidya Upasana. So that there comes to technical words, which was difficult. I think that you have got it, or I'd like to touch that point again. In the 9th verse we read that the person, those who are devoted to the worship of Avidya. No, Avidya normally means ignorance. And Vidya means knowledge, is it not? Vedantic term. Avidya means no one is posing any expression. Yes, no, at least not the head. Avidya means what? Ignorance. Knowledge means what? That which releases us from bondage. Normally we mean that. But here Vidya and Avidya are not like that. Okay, 9 verse we read. Look at the book. Anhang tama pravishanti ye avidyam upasate. Ye avidyam upasate. Those people who worship Avidya, they enter into blinding darkness. Anhang tama. Tato bhuyo ivataro. More blinding darkness people enter. Who? Those who are engaged in vidyayang rata. Vidya means knowledge. No? But here it does not mean knowledge. It is devata upasana. And those who perform rituals and those who perform devatas, gods, with their upasana. So these are the technical terms. Those who are devoted to avidya means ignorance. That means only does pure rituals. Pure rituals is what? Have you seen some Vedic rituals? There will find that there are how many performances going on. In a big homakunda is prepared. 7, 8, 10 priests should be engaged in offering flower or my oblation, mantras. Someone is chanting mantra, someone is observing whether the mantra is chanted properly. Their whole focus is on the rituals, to perform the rituals. But they do the rituals but do not know the meaning. So they are engaged in avidya. Understand this point. Today's modern example will be, we do the puja and the priest does all the mantras chanting, throwing flowers and mantras, as we see in India, of course, more. We see that everyone is performing puja in the temple and pujari is doing continuously puja. But he's talking to you, looking at this and throwing the flower and chanting, and throw, and this is, and then take some flower from there and put it in your head and put some tippa here. This is called, they are doing rituals. No? So those who are doing rituals only, not knowing its significance, not why they are doing, that is called here, the technical term is avidya. They are performing avidya upasana. And vidya upasana, those who are greater darkness, those who enter into delight of the vidya, means the knowledge of the ritualistic or philosophy. They know why you are throwing the mantra, what is the meaning of that. Acha, why you put your tipa here, why you sprinkle water around you. They know, they are expert in that. They are called the knowledge of the ritualistic philosophy. They know, but they don't do any puja. That means they enter into greater darkness. Why greater darkness? They only know head, in the head. This means that, that means that, that means this takes there, that. Huh? So what does it mean? Intellectual knowledge, not like knowing any science or anything, only theoretical knowledge. They are theoretical people. Theoretical people without devotion and love. And those practicing people who does not know what they are doing. So that's why one takes to darkness, another takes to greater darkness. Why greater darkness? Suppose I don't know the meaning, but I am performing the puja. One day or other, sometime my mind will put this question, why am I doing this? Such question will come at some time. The darkness will go away sometime. But now think, those who are expert in knowing the philosophy, they know everything all the time, no? If they know everything and does not practice, what is the use of that knowing? Ramakrishna says, Pandit. Huh? They only talk big things. Pandit on the boat and questioning that poor guy, all this, he does not know anything. Babu, I didn't know. I have no chance to go to school. I never learned this thing. And I know so much, you know. But no action, but that boatman knows how to swim. But he does not know. So he is much in darkness because there is no hope for him. Those who have no knowledge, but one day desire may come, I do not know why I am doing, okay? Suppose you ask me one question and I do not know. So I will go and study and get something. There is a hope for that type of people. But who knows, I know everything. And don't do anything. So that's why this meaning is very technical, because people come and into great confusion to understand this verse. Verse number 9. And that's why it said, what is avidya? Avidya literally means ignorance. That is our Vedantic meaning. But here it denotes ritualistic observances, as all rituals are performed through the ignorance of the real nature of Atman, and that is beyond all actions. They don't understand this, so they do the puja, they do the rituals, that it will lead to the knowledge of Brahman. That is the purpose Chitta Suddhi we are doing, not knowing anything. That's why it is ignorance. And the other people delighted in Vidya means knowledge normally, but here it signifies the ordinary theoretical knowledge of gods and rituals, right? As we read in the books, or you learn from some Pandit. So that. So the drift of this verse is this: those persons who remain satisfied with the performance of the rituals only, remain satisfied in the performance of ritual only, never strive to know the real significance of the works as explained in the scriptures. Here, Rajasika people only, they only do, and works as explained in the scriptures, and cannot attain the Sattvika state of life which rests upon the glorious union of the ritualistic action with the knowledge of their significance. But still, what are those person who remain contented, happy with the mere theoretical knowledge, intellectual knowledge about gods, about sacrifice, gathered from the scriptural study only, Pandit, and never start themselves up for any action. I know this and I perform and put into action. Like Swami Vivekananda said, no, that Vedanta in practice. If the Vedanta is not practiced, then it does not make any sense. So they are tamasic, and as much as are necessary, neglect by their own inactivity to the inert state, which are all levels in existence, is the farthest away. So this is the point. So what we have to go then? 10th verse have said that, so you have to understand Annadeva Ahur. Why are you talking here? Annadevahur Vidyaya, Annadahur Avidyaya. That's verse number 10. We have done that. Iti Sustruma Dhiranam Ye Nastad Vachachakshire. We have, this is verse. Beautiful. So Vidyaya, by Vidya, or not, a different result comes. In the scripture it has said, if you engage in action, you get one result. If you engage in philosophical discussion and intellectual understanding, you reach another result. Both has different result. But if one can punch them together, then you get the best result. You know the rituals, you also know the philosophy of this worship, then you get the best benefit. You don't enter into darkness, rather you go to the line of what you call the illumination, path of illumination. So it says Vidya, by Vidya, again by Vidya means, it means ritualistic observances. Could you remember this one word? Vidya means ritualistic. Avidya means the ritualistic observances. And Vidya means that the significant ordinary theoretical knowledge. Remember these two technical words. Otherwise, this verse will not be understood. And it's very complicated here. So, by Vidya, practice of there is one result. They say, ahu onne kara, who says? Here, this who says? They're the sages. The sages and saints, they say that it leads to one knowledge. And avidya, through avidya, a different result is attained. Iti dhiranam, we have heard from the wise people, susruma, we have listened this. Who are they? Ye nastad vachachakshire. Those who have explained this philosophy to us. That means the Upanishadic sages say like that. So the 10th verse actually meant that you have to couple these two together. Best result will come. One result, they say, is obtained by Vidya, by Vidya Chacha, knowledge of ritualistic philosophy. And quite another result is achieved by pure ritualistic worship. Thus, we have heard from the wise who explained it to us. Meaning here, this sage Upanishad, Isha Upanishad sage, is so humble. He is not saying, I say, listen. But he said, I have heard from my guru. I have heard from my ancient sages. No, that is the humility of the knowers of truth. Now, 11 verse today. Vidyang cha avidyang cha vidyang cha avidyang cha yastat veda ubhayagum saha yastat veda ubhayagum saha vidyang cha avidyang cha vidyang cha avidyang cha yastat vedo ubhayagum saha yastat veda ubhayagum saha avidyaya mrityum tirtva avidyaya mrityum tirtva vidyaya mritamasnute vidyaya mritamasnute. Got it? So what it says? Vidyang cha avidyang cha. Vidyang means again, you have the philosophical understanding of the meaning. And avidyam, rituals, knowledge about the rituals, what to do, what after what. That's why in the puja you will find one tantra dharak. Durga Puja time you will find one tantra dharak. He sits. Tantra dharak is that who says, hey, this step, no, not this step. This should be done now. After this, you do this. That means he holds the book and leads the pujari to go step by step. Does not make a false approach to ritual. Normally, there is a rule. You dip dhoop first, incense. Then you dig deepa, the candle. Then you give naivedya. See our ritual. But they are talking about Vedic ritual. But I'm not going to make it understand that form, but you can understand from our standpoint. Suppose you now start first give the naivedya. And then you start giving some flowers then. You can do. But that is not the way it's to be done. It's a ritual. So ritual should be done perfectly. So step by step. And one is only doing these things but not understanding the philosophy of it. He is also dark. He is also dark. Both are going into darkness. But when they couple together, no, avidyang and vidyang, just that ubhayagum saho, together. Ubhaya means together. They perform together. Both of them together, Veda knows, then what happens? Avidyaya mrityum tirtva. By avidya, avidya means what? By performing the rituals, they overcome the death, again relative death. That means death means they go to heaven, they get some benefit they get. But having conquered our vidyaya, by vidya they reach the amritam. That is literally immortality. But it will be made, he who understands vidya and avidya both together attain to the nature of immortals. Immortals means gods. If you know both the things, the net result will be, suppose you are worshipping a particular god. No. So if you know the meaning and know the rituals perfectly, then what will happen? You will, after this death, We think that we'll go to Shiva Loka. He will go to Shiva Loka. Someone will go to Matri Loka, Devi Loka. No? So that is the result it will happen if they are coupled together. How that will happen? He says, by Vidyaya, knowledge of the ritualistic philosophy, to the nature of immortals through Vidya, meaning knowledge of ritualistic philosophy. How? Conquered death by avidya, by pure rituals. By performing pure ritual, mind will be pure, so that by that they will go to, ultimately they will reach the gods and goddesses, the plane, what they are worshipping. But not Brahman, mind it. They are not going to Brahman here. So then, note has clarified here. Note says, attains to the nature of immortals. They reach the nature of immortal. Boleche na? He who understands Vidya and Avidya both together, that is the meaning of this 11th verse. Not being only performing puja, not only knowing the philosophy, but knows the philosophy as also the rituals and performs, net result will come, they will reach them immortals. Immortal means, according to Vedanta, is immortal is what? Brahman. Never to come back, never to go. It is absolute. It is birthless, deathless. That is the immortal, we understand. But here, immortal is not meant that way. Immortal is like Amar. Amar means, from human consideration, they are Amar. No? The gods and goddesses are Amar. We live for few days, few years. The gods are living for how many? Thousands and thousands and thousands of years. It is a relative thing. Suppose if the ants look at the life of humans, so the human lives how many? 100 years, and human being is living. How many days will be the life of an ant? Say bacteria. How many days? So the bacteria will say, Baba, human beings, oh, they are immortal. My grandfather saw, his great grandfather saw, this man never dies. I have heard that this man is here from and our family after family, we are generation after generation dying, but they don't die. They are immortal. So in that sense, immortal. We think gods are immortal. No, Indra, Chandra, Varuna, our Hindu gods and goddess. No, you're immortal. Baba. See, we are before birth. We are hearing about all the gods and goddesses. And after we are becoming 60, 70, 80 years old, still we are hearing, oh my God, that God will be gracious to me. I will go to the Devaloka, Gandharva Loka. They are much more long in longevity in their life. No, that's why they are called immortal. Understand? So, that's why when we read these scriptures, we'll have to understand to the context what does it mean. People make a mistake by hearing the word only. But to the context you have to understand. That's why we need Sankaracharya. Acharya is necessary to explain it. So we are reading according to Sankara's philosophy, what Sankara explained to understand this verse. So it says, giving some clarity, attains to the nature of immortals. What does it mean? Now, according to Sankara, the immortality referred to here is not the absolute immortality of Brahman, but is the relative immortal nature of gods. And gods, Bahu Vachan, Bahu Devata. God, G-O-D, capital, he is also mortal. But he lives much longer than small gods. Small gods have different positions, no? In this position, you are invited to work as a education minister. You are invited to work as finance minister, no? But the finance minister is a post. Today you got it by your merit. But when merit will be exhausted, then your tenure will be over. then another pure soul will go and put into that position, and that person will be called, we call the finance minister. Ma Lakshmi, Ma Saraswati, what we say. And from this perspective, to understand, they are not immortal, but they are mortal in a sense, but looks like immortal. But immortal is Brahman, that you have to go beyond. But first go to the mortal, immortal mane Dev Devi, and then to rise above. To say death means death here means, according to Shankara, the works and knowledge of the ordinary ignorant life, which are all subject to destruction. Whatever knowledge we acquire in this world, whatever rituals we do, it ends, it has a result, is limited, it has its end. His his object is interpreting it in this way, Mane Shankara, which looks far-fetched, is to avoid the combination of works and knowledge as a direct means of attaining supreme illumination. Shankara, there is a philosophical way, Jnana Karma Samuchaya. Jnana and Karma cannot go together. That is Shankara's philosophy. But it is another way for other class of people, that by that way they will reach some purity, and that purity will lead them to ultimate experience. For according to him, are opposite like light and darkness in their application to Brahman. As alternative interpretation is this, of this may be given if we do not go all the way to Shankara in maintaining the opposition between action and knowledge. Action, or ritualistic or otherwise, when done with desire, is surely opposite to spiritual enlightenment. No. Sakama karma, as we always know. When any ritual, any action is done with some desire in the mind, so that leads to birth and rebirth. No? Swamiji says, unselfishness is God, selfishness leads to the birth and rebirth cycle. But why should work of a purely devotional nature like communion and the rest, which help us to reduce the theoretical knowledge of Brahman into an actual realization in life, be also regarded as opposed to enlightenment? Why? The answer is, if therefore we take Vidya and Avidya to mean theoretical knowledge of Brahman and the devotional practice necessary for its actual realization, then the passage may be given a more direct interpretation. So that's why it is implied in Shankara's language, karma binds you always. That's why Shankara says only by knowledge you realize Brahman. Shankara says by karma you cannot. But karma means in Vedic karma, ritualistic karma. By ritualistic karma, there is a benefit, you reach certain result. Happiness, joy, heaven, pleasure, you become a king, these are all process of reaching the joy or pleasurable places by karma. In Vedic time, so many yajnas are there. Ashwamedha yajna, then how many names of yajnas are there? And so you can perform anyone, follow the particular step-by-step things, and then you reach the goal. No? But that will not give you freedom. Freedom, you have to go to knowledge, know that all is ending in ignorance. These are all actions are done in ignorance because you are thinking that will give you joy, peace, but it cannot give you joy, peace. Only Brahman is the state beyond all action, all karma, and non-action. That is the Brahman. But here, that's why Shankara's meaning is one step down is taken this way, avidya or devotional practice, including selfless work, we overcome mrityu, means ordinary life of birth and death. And by vidya, or knowledge of Brahman, we attain absolute immortality. What is meant is that mere conceptual knowledge of Brahman, those who think about Brahman only intellectual, Thakur said, the Pandits are Pendulums are like vultures. They soar very high, but they are looking at with the tiny eyes, they are looking at where the cardinal is there. No. So Pandits, why? Because theoretical knowledge they have, but they are not practicing the devotion. Ritualistic practice means devotion. So they don't practice devotion. So devotion and jnana, that's why Ramakrishna's philosophy was jnana mishra bhakti. Is it not? Jnana mishra bhakti. So one should do, the jnana should be kept along with bhakti. Otherwise, mere bhakti will take us to emotionalism. And mere buddhi, intellect, will take you to a big pandit. Pandit always whole life fight with another person to get name, fame, no? But they don't get God realization. So this is the idea. When it is meant by conceptual knowledge of Brahman is not enough. It must be combined with the practice of spiritual discipline. Therefore, intellectual knowledge about Brahman plus added with devotion. In modern context, we are talking about our understanding. Otherwise, the scripture reading, it has no meaning if it goes only to Vedic practices. We don't do Vedic practices. So why you are reading this? Why are you spending time for that? So ours should be the actions we do, it should be devotional. That means it is for the pleasing God, not for my self-aggrandizement. Or I am a very knowledgeable, I know Brahman, this, that. Not for talking like big talks, but to purify the heart. Jnana and bhakti mixed together will make the journey smooth. So the mere theorization of Brahman is not the realization of Brahman. For without combining this practice with it, the theory will not be able to counteract the mental and physical tendencies that obstruct the dawning of knowledge. Okay? So it will not allow us to reach the purpose of life, which is knowledge of the self. So what does these three verses mean then? We have to couple. Do your rituals. In the morning you go to shrine, offer flower, this, that. Do your with meaning, try to understand. And also know whom you are worshipping. Are you worshipping a man as Ramakrishna? Or you are worshipping, he is Brahman, with this knowledge. With this knowledge and with this worship, coupled together. Whole day you are working. We say, all work should be dedicated to God. No. So when you do work, you're working. If you only work, it is gadhar khadni. We will say, carrying the load like a donkey, but do not know what we are carrying. Why we are working whole day. So only working will not do. I am doing for God, it is my pleasure, it is my... And who is my God? He is a man, he is a saint, he is a God, or he is Brahman. With this knowledge. See how Upanishad also giving the same idea. Because it is told thousands of years ago. Social condition was different. People used to do the homo and yajna. But now the homo yajna has gone. The concept of niskama karma, sakama karma, presently we are accustomed to this wisdom. No? So this should be coupled. We can match this. That's why it is said, read the Upanishads in the light of Ramakrishna's life. We have to understand that. Otherwise, the scriptural reading is too complicated. Just you read it only yourself with Shankara's commentary, you will come to be a confused person. You will not make any head and tail of it. It is saying you go into, if you do puja and all the rituals, you go into blinding darkness. We are going to blinding darkness. Then if you are a pandit, you know what you are doing, then you go to more deeper darkness. I'm becoming pandit, I am learning so much Sanskrit and English and then philosophy, and I am going to deeper darkness. What does it mean? That you have to understand. This is the significance that we have to perform two things together. Do our rituals, or now whole day what we are doing, all the activities what we do, we'll have to do that. But with the knowledge. What's the knowledge? I am serving, doing to please my beloved Lord. And who is my Lord? Who is my Rama? Who is my Krishna? They're actually Brahman, Satchidananda, only reality that I don't know. But I intellectually know I am worshipping him. So when coupled together, not one or the other, but to be coupled in life, that's why that will lead to the immortality. Now, another question again coming. Sambhuti and Asambhuti. It's a more concrete idea. Sambhuti and Asambhuti, two words will come in the verse number 12. Be careful. Remember this note, take this very seriously, these 2 points. Otherwise, this language is so cumbrous and we are not conversant with them. That's why confusion and misunderstanding will happen. So, first we chant the mantra, then we go to meaning, and then be careful to note down the meaning. What is called Asambhuti and what is called Sambhuti. Okay. 12th verse. Annang tama pravishanti, andhang tama pravishanti, je shambhutim upasate, ye shambhutim upasate, tato bhuya ibate tamo, tato bhuya ibate tamo, yau sambhutyagam rataha, yau sambhutyagam rataha. Tato, again, another time. Andhang tama pravishanti, andhang tama pravishanti, ye shambhutim upasate, ye shambhutim upasate, tato bhuya ivate tamo, tato bhuya ivate tamo, yau sambhutyagam rataha, yau sambhutyagam rataha. And now, word by word meaning if we go, annang je asambhutim upasate. Asambhuti means non-being. Sambhav means which has been probability. Sambhav, this is probable. That's a sambhav. Is it possible? Because sambhav, it is sambhav, from that sambhuti. So it is ye asambhutim upasate, those who worship asambhuti means non-being. What is non-being? A prakriti, nature. Understand? Make a note, write down prakriti, nature. Otherwise you will not understand next. So it is je asambhuti. Asambhuti meaning that which is not living, but prakriti. Sankhya philosophy, prakriti. Jara. Asambhuti. Non-being, but becoming. So, je asambhutim upasate, those who worship this asambhuti, which is non-being, non-becoming, which technically means, it means that it is the prakriti upasana. And the andham tama pravishanti, same word, they enter into blinding darkness. Those who worship prakriti, they enter into blinding darkness. Understand that point? They enter into blinding darkness. Who? Those who worship whom? Asambhuti, those non-becoming, meaning prakriti. What is the prakriti? You know, prakriti means what? I have told maybe 1,000 times. Prakriti means what? 24 cosmic principle is called prakriti. By their nature, they are jara. They are not self-sentient. By the touch of the sentient being, their jara prakriti becomes alive. Like the potatoes and rice, they are jara, and with the heat consciousness, they get bubbling. So similarly, 24 principle, who can say? Can unmute and say? Let me see. Anyone who can say? Unmute and say. Okay. Last time I talked about, so you should note it. You will never get it again. Again and again we come to the same point. Deepak Babu are going to say something.
Panchendriya.
I say. Now listen. Panchendriya. Panchagindriya means Gyanendriya. তারপরে পঞ্চকর্মেন্দ্রিয়, তাহলে হাউ মাচ? 5 5 10 10 5 কর্মেন্দ্রিয়, 5 জ্ঞানেন্দ্রিয়, 5 5 10 5 bhutas. What are the 5 bhutas? Kshiti, Up, Tej, Marut, Bomb. Huh? The water, air, fire, what we are now everyday feeling. And the fine form of this air, water, etc. What is that? When you see the dream, Suksma Panchabhuta. Huh? Please clarify. If you have any doubt, tell me again. But note down. This is very simple. Though it is always referred, you read any book, you will come across this term. And if you don't make it sure, then every time it will be a confusion. So 5, think of yourself. Think this body. Who are you? You have what you have. Look at yourself. You have 5 sense organs of perception. So eyes, ear, nose, throat, etc. called Gyanendriya. Got it? All are silent.
Yes, Maharaj.
Note down. 5 karma indriyas. 5 karma indriyas are what? Bak, pani, payu, upastha. 5. Speech, hand, feet. They are called karma indriya. So 5 karma indriya, 5 gyanendriya. You see, your eyes. Eyes, hearing, ear, nose, gyan. It brings knowledge. Skin, tongue. So these are the 5. They are called the 5 gyanendriyas. So 5 plus 5, 10. Now look at your body. This body is made of what? 5 elements. No? You take rice, dal, potato, and this is which grows from earth element. Then you are breathing the air element. You are drinking the water element. Huh? Up is water. Khiti, up, teja. You are taking calorie, whatever food you are taking out of that calorie. Khiti, up, teja. Marut. Marut is the air. Otherwise we go. COVID attack, gone. So this is breathing. So air. And last is space. I am in the space. So 5 times 4, you got 20. Remember, you got 20. Another 4 you have to collect. Now you look at yourself. What you have? You look at yourself. You have your ego. You have your ego. Is it not? Everyone has ego or no ego? Ego, ahankar. Do you have a buddhi? You have your intelligence, no? Are you not intelligent person? So, have your intelligence. Huh? Can you function without mind? So mind. And what is that? Mind and memory. Memory is another thing. Without memory, this world will reject us. Those who are getting Alzheimer and to the extreme, the world also gives up and they also give us away. So these are the four things. What are the four things then? Say everyone. I have told. Ego, say with me. Ego, ahankar, ego. Buddhi, your intellect. Intellect. Third, your mind. Manas, and your memory. Got it? So now write down 24. I don't want to see that again next time you are not understanding and you have to look at something page and where to find out. Okay? 5, 5, 5, 5. 5 as the fundamental thing. How do you look at your own body, then you can remember. If you look at yourself, how you are functioning, if you're functioning, so you know this is because of this. These are all jara. See, dead body, when it happens, dead body, they have their eyes, they have their ear, they have their, huh? But there is no ego functioning there. There is no mind functioning there. There is no buddhi functioning there. There is no memory functioning there. There is no hand functioning. There is no feet functioning. Huh? Karmendriya, Gyanendriya, the eyes are there, but they don't see anything. Huh? So, Gyanendriya, Karmendriya, their physical body is there, but they don't eat anything. Earth element, air, they don't breathe anything. Air element is not there. So, this way, 24 principles. This is called the Mahat Tattva. And that is mentioned here, Asambhuti. Write down, this 24 principle is Asambhuti. So simple formula. This Asambhuti. So those who worship this Asambhuti only, they are worshipping Jada. Is it not? Very natural. Look at that. Without consciousness, worshipping this is worshipping actually Jada, matter. So Sambhuti, Asambhuti, non-becoming, Upasati, those people who only worship this matter, they go to the end result, they end in matter. So Provishanti, they enter into darkness because there is no illumination. Those who worship only material thing, they enter into matter only. They become conscious about the material thing. Je u sambhutyang rataha. Now, those who are engaged in sambhuti, two words. Asambhuti is the 24 principle Mahatattva, and sambhuti is what? Is the Hiranyagarbha. That means Ishara. When Ishara, the energy gets connected. That's why it is said, God does everything, and we say, I am doing. No? So Ishara is the point here. Sambhuti means here, it becoming. Becoming, it is Sambhuti means Hiranyagarbha. It is like that light and consciousness which gives energy to the matter. So if they worship, so these two things, they will reach. If one reaches into the worship of the Asambhuti, Prakriti, they enter into darkness because they don't get God realization. Even they do the worship of Sambhuti, what means that they are worshipping Hiranyagarbha, one step down from the Ishvara state. So what happens? They reach up to that level, but they don't get ultimate illumination, and they get stuck into the Hiranyagarbha. You meditate on Hiranyagarbha. Man, Hiranya means the gold. Garbha means in the womb. In whose womb is the Hiranya, like light inside. So you meditate on him only. You go up to that and stay over there. And if you stay there, you will get stuck there for how many days? As long as Hiranyagarbha is there. Hiranyagarbha will be billions and trillions and trillions and trillions of years. One Hiranyagarbha age, if you calculate, see the book, they have calculated their existence. Our existence is 100 years, no? Maximum human being live. Hiranyagarbha lives his 100 year. His 100 year is, as I said, ant looking at the a human being, They will say, Baba, they are. So you get stuck there for so many years. You cannot go to the illumination. But if you get it here together, totally free. Now you are free from all bondage. That's a pleasurable place. But you go into pleasurable place for a long time, what happens? You remain in fun and joy and forget your purpose of life. So that is not the choice of a spiritual person. So that is the point. So there he says, those who worship asambhuti, that means non-becoming, which does mean prakriti. That means those who worship prakriti, they enter into blinding darkness. One step, the first people. Second people, they think that they are much developed people, but they get more stuck into deep ignorance. Why? Into the inner, into darkness still greater. Who? As it were, do they enter who delight in sambhuti, means the upasanas practicing meditation on hiranyagarbha, that is becoming. So these are the two things you have to understand, asambhuti and sambhuti. Got it? And do you understand why you are getting stuck there more? Why they are saying blinding darkness? More darkness than blinding darkness. Why? Because once you can come out, even you are worshipping jara, matter, and you will get dissatisfied. After worshipping, then there is a chance of quickly coming back from this mistake. But those people who get stuck into hiranyagarbha, and hiranyagarbha is full of light and joy, but that is not Brahman. And you go there and merge there. When you merge there, you enjoy fun and joy till the hiranyagarbha dies. When hiranyagarbha will be identifying himself with Brahman, then you will also be going with the Brahman. It is such a state you don't come back here. So it is deeper darkness. Got it? My point? Okay, if you don't get it, it is don't get it. But I tried much to understand these two absolutely difficult verses in the whole Isha Upanishad. These two, sambhuti, asambhuti, because technicality we do not know. And how I am worshipping jara, matter, I know I am going darkness. But you are saying you are worshipping hiranyagarbha, you are going to deeper darkness. It is contradictory. In the realm of God realization is the question. I am worshipping a stone. Man, I have no idea what I am doing. Everyone does the Shiva Puja, I am doing Shiva Puja. So millions and billions of people in India do Shiva Puja. But they know Om Namah Shivaya and they chant and dance and sing. But what is happened, who knows? Are you worshipping a stone image? Or you are worshipping something? Now it's, hey, you only worship stone image. You don't know. It is the Shiva, it is the Hiranyagarbha. He is the light. He is still, he dances, he creates, sustains. So you are thinking of that. And if you go up to that point, and then you merge there, then you will have to live with him for a long time. Salokya, Sajujya, Sarupya, all these things. And you get there and stuck there. Vedanta will say, no, I want liberation here and now. In that comparison, second one is keeping you more engaged for longer period in ignorance or in not merging with the divine self, which is the goal of the Upanishad, the Atman, the Brahman. Therefore, they will suggest on verse number 23 that we have heard, 13 verse will say, that we have heard from our great saints and sages that this result of the upasana of sambhuti, that means the matter, mahatattva, and the upasana of the hiranyagarbha, leads people to two directions. And 14 verse will say, now those are not giving liberation. There 14 verse will say, blend both of them together, and then you will have your goal reached. Okay, so time is up. So I end here and very seriously read this. And if you have any question, then we can discuss next time. Okay.
Yeah, Maharaj, I think there's one question from Patsuda, and I think we will bring it over. In Patsuda, if you have a question, please go ahead.
Unmute, Partho, if you want to say anything. Yeah.
Hello, Maharaj.
Namaste.
Namaste. Maharaj, before starting number 11 sloka, when you are discussing 9th and 10th, and when you are explaining Shankara's commentary, according to Shankara, it says karma means it leads to birth and death, according to Shankara. But then, in many other places, like in Gita, they say that without work, nobody can live without work. If you are even thinking, it's some kind of work. So, looks like today we did 11 and 12, and there are a lot to understand. So, this karma, without doing karma, we cannot sustain ourselves. But then if we do karma, then we cannot get liberated.
But
so there is
but Shankara says what? It is a stepping stone. If someone does not do work, he is a tamasic person. There is no question of spirituality for that person. But those who are rajasic person, they are working day and night, but they don't know why they are working. Like millions and billions of people in the world are working, and look at their life, how frustrated they are, how we come back from our work every day frustrated with our boss, with our co-worker, with every day. Why? If it gives liberation, then it should give. No. Karma means friction. Unless it is pure karma by a sattvika person. So there you say, why are you working? That's why you mix the knowledge. You know you are working to satisfy your beloved Lord. And your beloved Lord is who? He is Satchidananda Brahma. Tell all this mixed together, then you do karma. Then that will liberate. Otherwise, karma everyone does. Tamasic people does karma. Rajasic people does. Sattva people, Thakur said, even your breathing is your karma. You are a Brahmagyani, a knower of truth. He is sitting, he is sleeping, he is waking. Is he not doing karma? Yes, his prana is working. That prana means breathing. Even just breathing is a karma. And you cannot sit idle. You will think something else. So karma you are doing. But tamasic person does one way, rajasic person does another way. So this karma is a stepping stone. What Shankara says, karma cannot give you liberation. What karma can do? Karma can create chitta suddhi. That's why it's famous what? Chittasya shuddhaye karma. Chittasya, chitta means mon, as we have discussed now. Mana buddhi ahankara chitta, no? Chittasya shuddhaye, purification. For the purification of the mind, shuddhaye karma, natu vastu upalabdhaye. It cannot give you liberation. It will purify your mind, and purification of mind will come. It will spontaneously come from within. God is not to be generated. Not God is sitting somewhere and not here. He will one day jump here and stand before me. No, he is here now. I do not know why. My mind is polluted. My mind is clouded. Chitta, therefore, shuddhi. We have to purify the chitta, mirror of the mind, is to be cleaned. And that is needed by karma. And with devotion, knowledge and devotion, why am I doing karma? Tell me, from morning till now, all of us have done karma. So much karma we have done. according to your own duty, responsibility, maybe in your home, in your office, in your kitchen, in your cooking with your friends, with your family. You have done karma. But why it is not giving liberation? Chitta is to be done with the knowledge. I did it for God. And that God is Satchidananda. All these ideas should be added together. The karma that we read in these two, three verses. With this combined effort, chitta will be shuddha, mind will be pure. And when mind will be clean and pure, the truth will reveal in the heart. Okay?
One more question, Maharaj.
No. Yes?
Should I go for this question?
Yeah, keep it short.
Very short. Maharaj, that verse you explained, yes, it's a little bit confusing, but my lack of understanding, I am still having some problem trying to understand it. That is, those who devoted to the manifests are entering into deeper darkness. Can you please explain that again?
Oh my God, 1 hour I talked about that. How many? That is the point I am talking all the time. If you do the work ritual and only know the chanting of the mantra and throwing the flower and putting in your tippa here and then and waving the light candle and this and that, and you do not know why you did and for whom you did. So you will be in the darkness. Pujaris, you look at the priests of every temple. I'm sorry, not everyone. I'm saying most of the people, they are pujaris. They are doing from morning. They are chanting the Vedic mantras. You do not know even. We do not know those mantras. They have chanted, they memorized, they're chanting all the mantras. And throwing flower, giving tippa and all the fruit, flowers, whole day standing before the altar, before the Thakur, he's standing there. But you see, spiritual transformation, does it happening or not? If it is not happening, why? Because it is only karma, avidya. That's why they being there, remaining in the temple whole time, that benefit is not coming in their life. That's why they are entering into blinding darkness. Because the one life is gone. Doing all puja work. You do in your earn money in your company by your software engineering or your skill of engineering or whatever, professory or teaching or whatever. Nah? And the pujaris have no other business. They do in the shrine, in the temple. That is their earning. By that, they should get liberated. As we should get liberated. I also do the puja. I am doing puja for so many years, but I remain the same guy. Then what is the meaning of this? It's the same darkness. But if I know why I am doing the puja, jnana, vidya, when you know why am I doing the puja, whom I am worshipping, what is the real meaning of this connection, what it is doing, it is purifying my mind. And if we understand this and engage, then I will be liberated. Otherwise, I become a pandita. You do the puja, you don't know the meaning. Come to me. I'll tell you. Why do you throw the flower that way? Why do you chant gong, bong, jung, jung, rang, bang, rang, 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 tong, 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 tong. Why are you saying? Do you know the meaning? I know. Come to me. So it is a more proud person. You know many things, but you don't practice anything. You become pandit all the time. So you are also stuck more dangerously. Those simple people, they do not know, they have a chance to know. But if I know everything, I will not listen to you. I know everything. So I am more in darkness. It will take a long time for me to come out of that darkness. So that's why it is called more darkness. So this is the very simple thing, but very complicated one. Understand? Ananda.
Yes, Maharaj, only the translation I got confused because if the translation says manifested Brahman called Hiranyagarbha.
Oh, it's Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha, you have to.
That is where I got confused with the translation.
No, you have to know.
Those who are devoted, I thought they are really devoted, not mechanically chanting without knowing the.
No. Yeah, they are really devoted. Suppose you are.
So if they are really devoted to Brahman, why should they?
No, they are not devoted to Brahman, they are devoted to Hiranyagarbha. You are interested in, say, you are interested in with something to gain and stay in a heavenly joy for a longer time. Hiranyagarbha is a position. When you do worship and really get merged into with him, then you live as long as Hiranyagarbha lives.
Yeah.
So it will be billions and billions of human years, and you will get there stuck for billions and billions. Of course, you may say, I like that billion years in enjoyment. Okay, then you go.
Yeah.
But who will say, I want liberation, freedom, total freedom, as Vedanta Sankara says? That you cannot go. Therefore, you have to punch together, and by this combined effort, when the chitta will be purified, and that pure chitta will give you the knowledge of Jivan Mukti here and now. Or if not in this life, another life. But not millions and billions of lives. This is the indication. Huh?
Yeah, the last line is to the manifested Brahman called Hiranyagarbha.
Yeah.
So what you say, that is not really Brahman, it's a long-living entity.
That's a God who rules the world. Hiranyagarbha will be that one, like Ishara. Ishara and Brahman. Have you any difference between these two?
Oh, yeah. Now it's clear. They're different. But translation manifested Brahman called Hiranyagarbha.
Manifested Brahman ito. Otherwise, Hiranyagarbha comes from where? Out of nothing. Brahman appears as Hiranyagarbha in the cosmic level of ignorance. Individual ignorance, the same Brahman appears as Jiva, and in the cosmic ignorance, the same Brahman appears as Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha is an old term. We are not compatible with this terminology nowadays. That's why that is creating more terms. But if they say Rama, if they say Krishna, then we understand easily. Rama is Brahman. No. Rama, when we see him walking on the road, he is not Brahman. He comes out of Brahman. Like Hiranyagarbha. If you say Ramakrishna is Brahman. Yes, absolute sense Brahman. But when you're walking, talking, he's called Saguna Brahman. Sahaguna. He has the quality. He accepted the quality. But without quality, he is Brahman. But if you think of Ramakrishna as Nirguna Brahma, you will reach Nirguna state. But you are thinking that I am Hiranyagarbha, I am thinking of that personalized God. So you will reach that level of personalized God. As you think, so will be your achievement. As we meditate, that will be our achievement. Okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Maharaji, I don't think we have any more questions.
No more questions? But good. Then we end here. But acha, which next month if you want?
Yeah.
We want this class or not?
Yes, Maharaji.
Why not you link this to also others so that more may join, those who know connected with other group. When you people are invited there, you can ask them to get there.
Can we do it on Sunday, Maharaj?
Huh?
We set up a date on Sunday.
Sunday. Sunday will be.
Next month will be 30th, I think. May 30th.
Memorial Day, before that day. Yeah, what is that will help you? Easy.
Sayani, Sundays are difficult for us, like people who have kids, because on Monday it's a work day and school day.
But
So
weekdays we cannot expect people from like.
I see. That's Saturday?
In the class group 2 hours they are working.
Achha, so Saturday, how about Saturday? Saturday or Sunday is okay. For me nowadays, I can manage. But at least next month.
Saturday we have one class in the morning. So is it okay for, I have no problem. So you guys decide.
Don't.
Okay.
কোনটা দাও
You mean in the,
পেনটা
in the
ওইটা
evening? Are we talking about in the evening or Friday evenings? How about that?
30th
So
30th
Friday evenings are better than Sunday for me.
no, for one person, no, talk about the majority of the people. Anyone? This you can keep it in your, is it available afterwards? So no,
What is available?
what we're discussing, all this class, entire class is available afterwards. Are you recording? Or
No, I stopped recording when your talk was over, Malati. So probably, I mean, if you say if you want to record, I can start.
no,
recording.
those people who cannot actually join that time, they may
Yes,
get
yes,
that
yes.
for their reason I am talking.
Yes,
If it happens actually.
yeah. We are actually recording it. At the same time, there are actually a couple of people who are kind of looking into it. So when the recording is finished, we will upload to YouTube.
YouTube, YouTube, then you can find it.
Yes. So,
And also, Devolina, you can find in the YouTube our Vedanta, Voice of Vedanta. You can get
Yes,
everything.
yeah.
You can get any time because this is
Okay.
parallelly recorded. Even
Okay.
if you don't put into the YouTube, I am putting on YouTube also.
Yeah, I saw that.
Voice of Vedanta. Huh?
Mhm. Yes, yes.
Maharaj, are you saying that what you covered today will be available in some other place?
Now you can just in your computer, you go, you type youtube.com, write down youtube.com, write down youtube.com/ হাতে লিখে নিন আগে, put down in your pen. You can listen it 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever you like. Did you write?
The last one after you.
I am saying write down only. Don't ask me a question. Only write down youtube.com. Did you write?
Yes.
Acha, /
Yes.
Voice of Vedanta. That's all. You find all this, what has been said, it is recorded there. Now itself, if you want to see, you can see it now. Acha. So what will be the date then, next day?
so Chayadi,
If you feel that let us try 1 week, let us see how many may come. Did anybody talk to you, Chaya, that they're willing to join? Your voice is not.
Yes, Maharaj, I want to forward the group you have in Bengali Gita, but they can only do if it is on Sunday. The weekdays is not possible because time difference.
Acha, there you can send to Pittsburgh people. There are some people who can from Pittsburgh. Then there is so many people in the North Carolina, all these places. You are the contact person that there is a class going on for us. If you want to join, nothing to say, and give the link. That's all. Okay. So we can try then next 30th. Okay.
so it would be 30th.
30th then Sunday.
Okay.
For what time? This time?
6:30.
Sunday this time or morning time or noon time? What time?
Morning would be okay also, so no. You decide.
6:30 evening. Okay. Probably morning is probably what time?
Probably morning, Devolina probably better.
Probably at 10 o'clock or maybe 10:30 our time or maybe 11 o'clock our time maybe.
11 o'clock your
11:30
time
our
will be, mine will be 9 o'clock.
It will
No?
be 9:30. Yeah.
9:30. 9:30 is okay.
9:30. So it would be
So the
11:30.
11:30.
9:30.
Okay. So it would be Sunday, 30th May, 11:30 for us, and what is 9:30 for Maharaj. Yes.
ঠিক আছে?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Jai Ma. Thank you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ram Krishna Arpanamastu.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Jai Ma.
Okay,
কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন করেন
এখানে কেউই আসেনি
এসছে 5 জন এসছে
এসছে